Okay, so, yeah, so if you really, so go like this, so true like shoulder mobility test. So, and we're looking for, yeah, this is probably a little tight, but we're looking for, you know, it's greater than 1.5 hand lengths away, okay? And then if you do the other side, you know, she's within 1 hand length, which is what the goal is for shoulder mobility. And so the other thing, we're good, just super relaxed here, as I just check. So pretty limited with the internal rotation through the right side. And then if you relax into my hand. So we know we have it, right? So we at least want it to kind of look closer to that. So if you go on your side and face this way at them. So essentially, if you remember from the lecture, to go under, you see how my spine has to rotate a little to the left to clear this zone, right? And that's I'm making it bigger than it actually is so you can really see it. Like in order to get here, generally speaking, this is a left trunk rotation, okay? That's just something you have to kind of remember, okay? So when you're coming under here, and that pairs with this external rotation, and then it would be vice versa. For your left hand dominant athletes, you'll see likely a restriction here on the left side. So what we do is we work through, and what I like to also do is just lay your head like into, yeah, is I like to kind of, I'm gonna stack you. I like to just show them, like that's as far as I can take you before I hit the R1, which is a resistance, okay? So the goal is when we're done, that improves a little bit, okay? So this is how the ribs and the thorax play in. So xiphoid process, just off is the costocartilage. Thumb over thumb or thumb next to thumb. Fingers way out of the way, or I could have her here so I can have my hand on her hand, okay? If I needed it to. So all I'm going to do is imagine where her rib is, and I'm gonna give it just such a gentle little mobilization, encouraging it. And if you're okay, I'm okay. And then I'm gonna get through the breast tissue. I'm on the sternum and I'm coming off. Now this is where things get a little sensitive. The mammillary tissue here, the breast tissue is sensitive to push through. So I'm kind of just thinking about where are her ribs. I'm gonna come up under. I'm gonna give that rib a little nudge. Just taking the time here, and it's gonna feel like you're gonna start to turn left. So just go with that, okay? So now I move my body because the rib angles are changing as I'm coming up. So we're coming through the costocartilage. Now I'm gonna come one more, but I'm not gonna cross her clavicle. Good. Okay, and then I'm gonna teach her how to do that. You're gonna hold here. You're gonna really try to like find your ribs. So get between the breast tissue. Good. Take, and then lay your arm. Yes, take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, pull the rib cage around and rotate to the left. Like pull, come on, pull. There it is, there. You have to kind of act like me at home. So you gotta like get in there, you're gonna use a little bit of finger, and then you're gonna pull around. You ready? Exhale, you're gonna use this for leverage. There's the rotation. Good. You gotta get there. See, some people haven't been there in a long time. Okay. So one more time, you ready? You're gonna breathe in, and as you exhale, use this for leverage and rotate your spine. There it is, that's it. So the goal is that this shoulder and this elbow get to the table or the floor or wherever they are, right? Okay, so, and you kind of teach them in groups, like a little below, a little at, and a little above, never crossing the clavicle, and the fingers are kind of going where the ribs are. So you're probably grabbing like 2 or 3 ribs per location, then flip over. Okay, so now laying on your side, stretch your arms out, good. Reaching a little past your bottom, and then this hand holds the wrist, good. So now we've gotten the scapula out of the way, and now her rib angles are going to be right in here, okay? So now we're gonna start almost in line with her shoulder, and I'm just gonna encourage that motion. And as I come up, I'm gonna push. Now you have to think what muscles under there. We've got iliocostalis, right? We've got rhomboids. This area can be extremely sensitive for trigger points, but we're gonna push through them. Reach your top hand a hair longer. Good, so we're encouraging left rotation. Do you see it? Yeah. I'm on the back side on the right. I'm encouraging. Good. A little bit further away, ready? Yes. And now let that go. Good. Now roll back to this side, to where you were before. Project done. And then you go here and you kind of stack. And we get lower. So we're not all the way there yet. We have a little more to go. So that's where, like, go on your back. Scoot this way. Okay, good. And then, where's my tailor? I can't move the foot. So my mind. What's up? Let's use some props. So hold that for a sec. Just protect my hand. Okay, so you're gonna go in light holds.
Oh yeah.
And then just real easy, I'm gonna slip under you.
Let's go.
So we're gonna look. That's nasty right there. That's like T3. I'm gonna do T5. Okay, lift your head for me. Okay, let it go now. I've got you. Deep breath in. Hold your breath. Hold it.
Oh.
Deep breath in. Hold. Like that. I'm gonna let your head come down for this one. That's what we're not nasty.
This one. Not too good at this one.
Deep breath in. Hold your breath. Okay. Okay. So now.
I just cracked like 6 times.
Yeah.
Facing me again. And support. You can scooch back a little bit. Okay, and then you're kind of on the shoulder. Okay, that's way easier. Oh, and we just manipulated a little her shoulder.
Nice.
Okay, so much better. And now the rest is probably, lay on your back, it's probably a few trigger points. So that's where you come in and like you free up, you needle, upper trap, rhomboid probably, maybe Terry's minor. Just, I should have checked her nerve tension before because I bet you it was high and now it's less. But see, now we're getting that tension. That's where we'll clean up the muscle. Maybe even cervical, 4, 5, 5, 6. Like you have to go in now and be like, okay, what's left? You treated the rib cage, you got the thorax, you're working on calming down the nervous system, you're getting the range of motion back. but there's still high neural tension. So that's where the needling can be extremely effective at reducing that, okay? Or a cervical manip, or some modes through the cervical spine, like whatever the system requires, okay? So that's just this little routine. And then what you saw is that here's the self-rib mode. This is what I teach them for homework then. So if I did all that rotation work, you're gonna go home and that week you're gonna start really working on it. Then we can give them reach and roll. So lay on your side this way and have enough space behind you, because I like hands, good. So again, you're still in this like position, rest. Okay, reach and roll. Over the years, people just see it and they're like, I can do it, but there's real nuances with it. So you have to be true to the exercise. So fingers long. What she's gonna do, she's gonna do a reach from back here. She's gonna try to open and she's gonna go and spin the hand, because I want the ribs to rotate. Then from here, she's gonna initiate the pull, kind of like a bow and arrow. And she's gonna pull it back. And now we're gonna rotate open, and she's gonna get her elbow and shoulder down, and she's now gonna do the reach this way, palm up. She'll fold, go down the chest wall, out your hand, past the fingertips to the reach in front to create the roll through the rib. Then she's gonna initiate it from back here, open, and she'll do that one a couple of times. So this turns into homework, okay? And then fold back and go out and down. People always forget that part, okay? So that's why I put the picture in there. Then the other piece of that is the QL. The QL's connection up into the ribs, we want to open QL. So go on your back. Nice, easy way to do it. You have arms nice and long. Cross one leg over like you're sitting, good. And then what you want to do here is a contract, relax technique. So you're going to go probably about a quarter of the way, letting your top leg bring your bottom leg. So go about a quarter of the way. Now you're going to create a contract. So this leg pushes into this leg pushes back into this leg. It's like they're trying to pull apart from each other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Take the leg and allow it to pull more, about another quarter. Contract, relax. Now pull. You always need to allow for the relaxation to happen. One more time. Contract, relax. Take it as far as you can go. Very good. Okay? And then come back and switch sides. So that's what that is. It's not just like go and crank on the spine. You want to create this muscle energy approach to allow the muscle to have that reciprocal inhibition to let go, to want to let go, okay? That's why stretching often really doesn't work very well, because you just can't like pull and crank, right? You've got to engage the nervous system a little bit more, okay? And so then you would do that both sides, and that would open through, because if it's her right shoulder, I'm likely very concerned about the right QL, but you still often find tightness across the low back on both sides. So that one I do both directions.
Does it matter how much my pelvis is coming?
No, it should.
Oh,
It
okay.
should come at the very end there. Yep. Okay, makes sense? So that's kind of that little routine. So what you have to be really careful of though, is that you are not pushing really hard here. That costocartilage is only so strong. You can posteriorly sublux a rib. So if you don't know how to fix that, don't push very hard. It's very, very light. Same thing from the posterior. You don't push too hard, because if you do, you could anteriorly sublux a rib. So it's a very, very light touch. Just engage the mobilization, not to disrupt the actual ligamentous and structural support. Got me? So on the back side, you're along the rib angle, the angle that kind of comes out. It's like you can kind of feel it. And then on the front, you're just off the sternum and you're in that costocartilage area. Okay? Good. Any questions on that? All right, we are done.